Let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. All right, so let's go ahead and start from scratch. We have resistance right here, resistance right here. We have support right here and support right here. Let's draw some trend lines. We have the top trend line, something like this, and then we have the bottom trend line, something like this. In general, I was waiting for a breakout to the upside or to the downside. We got a breakout to the downside, so now what I'm looking at are the previous support levels. We have one right here at around 42,000. The next one is sitting around 41,000. So I don't know, it depends. Are we going to get, do you guys think we're going to get support on any of these levels, or do you think we're going to go lower? We actually wicked down here to around 39,600, 39,700. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to come all the way down here, get a wick down there, and then pop back up again, or are we going to stay above this little trend right here? Because we also have support, looking at a trend, maybe something like this. And it's possible that we don't even come down and hit this 41. It's possible we don't even come down and hit this 41 level because we get support on this little trend line. Even right now, it does look like we wicked down right here and got a little bounce right at this bottom, or this support right here, which is where we wicked down all the way right here, and we pretty much met that same wick right here. Now we're getting a bounce. So I'm kind of curious what's happening right now in general. How far are we going to dip down? Is this the support right there? Did we just get a bounce? Or are we going to come down to this trend line? Or are we going to come down all the way down to around 41,000? Or around 39,700? I put a limit order at around 39,700 to see if we could come down here, but I'm not sure if we will hit that. Like I was saying, it's possible that we even just get a bounce right here and start pushing up. Maybe we start forming another little triangle pattern, something like that. In general, if we zoom out, what I've been really looking at is this previous bottom right here, this previous low. I think if we could stay above this previous low, let's put the low right at the wick, right at around 39,600, something like that. If we could stay above this orange line, then I think we're okay. But I think if we start dipping below it, or if we start pushing down, then I'm going to be looking at this previous support down here at around 30,000. Let's go ahead and copy and paste this. If you hold control, click on the horizontal line, you can drag that, copy paste it, and we could drag it to the previous bottom sitting at around 29,700, 29,800 approximately. Like I said, if we break this orange line going to the downside, I'll be looking at this next orange line. And in general, until we break this resistance, we have resistance right here, resistance right here. Let's do a downtrend, something like this. We've been watching this for a while on my channel, so we have this downtrend like that until we break this downtrend going to the upside, something like this. Then I'm gonna kind of hope that we can hold support on this one, and if not, then I'll be looking at this one for support next. But hopefully we can kind of just get a bounce. Maybe we just can bounce right here a couple times, then get a breakout. In my last couple Bitcoin videos, I was kind of thinking that's what was going to happen, is that we were going to get some volatility right here, and maybe we have to kind of retest this area and this area a couple times, kind of get a couple bounces in there before we can come back and bounce to the upside. I'm really hoping in general that we can stay above this orange line, because if not, then like I said, we might be going down to that 30,000 level. And in general, I'll be watching this downtrend, something like this, on the bigger time frame. But like I said, if we jump back over to that 4-hour time frame, it's still possible that we hold support in this little tiny triangle, or this little 4-hour triangle, and we hold support right there until we can break up, something like that. That's totally possible. Right now, like I said, I think I am looking at a limit order down here, somewhere around that orange line at around 39,700. But we won't know until we start breaking this trend line going to the downside. Right now we broke this trend line, so I'm kind of curious where we're going to get support in general. Okay, so let's jump over to the total crypto market cap. We're on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go ahead and zoom in. We'll start with the smaller time frame, and then we'll work our way to the bigger time frame. So right here, this pretty much looks like what was going on with Bitcoin. We didn't break to the upside, we're breaking to the downside. So I'm watching this resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here, support, support, support. We had a triangle pattern, breaking that to the downside. Now what I'm looking at is previous support levels. The other thing I've been looking at on this chart in general is, let's go ahead and zoom out. I think in general we have a falling channel pattern. Let's go ahead and delete everything as well. So let's go to the daily time frame and let's zoom in a little bit. We have resistance right here, resistance right here. We have this downtrend, something like this, and then we have support right here. We got support right here. We also had support right here and right here. So I don't know, I think I was looking at something like this, maybe this one, from this one and this one and this one, and we're finding support basically on this trend line. I was watching this support and this support in my last videos, and we're basically in this falling channel pattern until we break this top trend going to the upside. I'm assuming that we're kind of bouncing in between this channel, pushing us basically down until we break this trend line up. But we were catching a bounce right here on this bottom support line that I was watching from this support and this support, and we basically got that bounce. But right now it does look like we're trending down again. We're on the daily time frame. We also broke the 9 moving average on the daily, so I don't really like the way that looks. If we switch over back over the 4-hour time frame, I was basically watching this support, this support. Let's do a trend line, something like this, until we broke this trend line going to the downside. I was assuming we were pushing up. Right now we broke to the downside. Basically, until we break this bigger channel going to the upside, I'm assuming that we could probably be looking at previous supports. Hopefully we could hold support right here because that's our previous low. Like I've been talking about on Bitcoin, we have a low, high, low, high. What we want to do is at least stay above our previous low. If we start breaking below that, then we'll be creating a lower low, and it'll be basically the start of a downtrend. Even though we already are kind of trending down, what I mean though is it'll be a bigger downtrend in general. We might be going lower. So yeah, hopefully we can stay above this 1.82 trillion. We already got support on it once. We wicked down right here, got a bounce on it. Let's see if maybe we could just get some volatility, maybe hold support on this 1.82 trillion. Let's go ahead and do a horizontal line, something like that. I guess we wicked all the way down to around 1.76, but the bodies are around 1.82 trillion. Let's see if we can hold support right there, and yeah, maybe we could get a bounce from this previous support over here. Maybe we could bounce on it, test it a couple times. Maybe we could kind of bounce in between those and test it, then get a breakout to the upside. Once we do, if we do break this going to the downside though, then I'll start looking at this previous support just like on Bitcoin. These charts look very similar, but they're not exactly the same, so it is kind of good to watch both of them in my opinion. Alright, so if we jump back over to Bitcoin, I think the main chart that I'm watching is the 4-hour time frame. Right now we have this little support trend right here. I'm kind of curious if we'll get support right there. If we start breaking that, next thing that I'll look at is 41,000. If we break 41,000, then I'll look at 39.7 thousand, or I'll be kind of looking at that limit. I have a limit order down here, and I'll be kind of looking at that area. And until we start getting bounces, or until we even break this, we have resistance right here and resistance right here. This is another kind of line we can watch. We could drag this out, something like this. If we break that line and that bigger downtrend, then we know that we might be starting to change directions. But until then, I'm kind of watching this spot and this spot down here and maybe this spot right there. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the comments. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, go ahead and check out my Discord. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up to my Patreon, or you can send me Dogecoin in the wallet address below. If you're new to trading, you can check out this video right here. It's a trading strategies video on when I buy and sell, kind of give you more insight into how I go about buying and trading crypto. Alright, if you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.